Malik, get Pritchard on the line. Tell him I need everything he's got on the Tai Young Medical Building. Schematics, blueprints, everything.
That might take a while, Jensen.
Yeah, well, he's got as long as it takes for me to find this Tai Young shuttle Van Bruggen talked about and ride it to their factory. Jensen out.
You shouldn't be here, sir. Get moving.
I feel like the only place to work around here is TYM. I don't feel like being a part of the machine.
You want to work for that weirdo Hugh Darrow in Panchea?
That weirdo is gonna stop global warming with this geoengineering project. They're saving the Earth up there.
I heard you can only work there if you have augmentations.
That's true, but I can volunteer to get augmented. Then I get put on a list, and before no time, off to the Arctic Ocean I go.
So instead of being part of a machine, you're going to turn yourself into one?
What's your take on the Panchea project, sir? It's supposed to reverse global warming, but from what I hear, it could just make things worse and trigger another ice age. That's the scary thing about global warming solutions. Some of the science behind them is still untested, but cheap enough to try that one crazy billionaire could get it into his head to use it, and bam, we're all dead.
I take every opportunity to practice my English. It will serve me well in Panchea.
Hey, you lost or something? A lot of travelers have trouble keeping all the Chinese street names and districts straight. Most of them are here to enjoy the nightlife in the Guigang district. The residential areas are on either side of it, Yuzhou and Daigong. You'll find a lot of apartments and hotels in those.
Excuse me, do you know where the limb clinic is?
Yes, it's on Xichang Road, near the market.
Great, thanks. I don't know if you've noticed, but China is so much more accepting of neural enhancements than some of the other countries I've visited. I love coming here. I rarely get anyone looking funny at me just because I have a few implants.
I hear other countries are all concerned because the United Nations wants to limit who gets augmentations and who doesn't. Is that true, mister? Doesn't matter what the UN decides, I think. China will always do what it wants to do.
This is Eliza Kassan reporting to you live from Picus. Excuse me, sir. Do you know how to get to Tai Young Medical from here?
Sure, gorgeous. You have to take the train.
It doesn't happen often.
But you know, you can't get into the building without an access card.
Oh, really? I just graduated from university and I wanted to drop off a resume.
I think you're better off sending an email. It's a high-security compound, sweetheart.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
You're pretty. If you don't get a job, I can hook you up. My friend works at the brothel in Guigang district.
You're referring to the Panchea project. No, thanks. I have to go. I just got my degree in biomechanical sciences, and I heard Hengsha is one of the best places to work in the industry. Lots of biotechnology corporations here, and Tai Young Medical is the biggest. I suppose it's silly to think a company that important with a huge global reach would even consider hiring someone with only university experience. But a girl can dream, can't she?
Know any young parties who wants to make a quick buck? What about you? Need a broad tonight?
If you would like to hear more of my exclusive interview with Hugh
Have a good evening, sir.
log on to
Enjoy the pleasures of Hengsha.
www.pegasweb.com. This is Eliza Kassan.
非常可悲。但是要在恒沙往上爬，就需要加强装备。离开下沉城市的地下轨道，说起来比做容易的多了。您是来恒沙做手术的吗？这个城市是知名的 augmentation 全球贸易中心。
One moment. You are not a harvester. We have had the occasional problem with them stealing from limb clinics. They will do anything to obtain augmentation, even strip them from a living person. Be careful.
非常可悲。但是要在恒沙往上爬，就需要加强装备。
我一般不和陌生人说话，我想我是因为这个手术而感到紧张了吧？我不应该紧张的，这将是一个美好人生的开始。
Can't you see I'm busy? Go bother someone else.
Death and life have their determined appointments.
What? Oh, and riches and honors depend upon heaven. Very good.
Right, what now?
Shh. They have eyes and ears everywhere. Meet me outside the clinic. Turn left from the front and go down the stairs. I'll be waiting at the corner.
Lim International welcomes you. You are preferred client? Select what you want from computer. You're very welcome, sir.
You speak English? Are you here for an operation? I've been waiting to do this for a long time. It took me a long time to save enough money to afford this.
我一般不和陌生人说话，我想我是因为这个手术而感到紧张了吧？ You speak English? I have been waiting for a long time for this surgery. Finally, it's going to happen. This is going to take me places.
您是来恒沙做手术的吗？
我喜欢你的装置。你是在这里做的吗？对不起，我不大明白你说的。也许我应该找个翻译。我知道这个会给我更多的机会，不过我还是紧张。我鼓足了勇气，才说服我自己接受这个疗程。
My visit to Prague was related exclusively to the project which has consumed all of my attention these days.
You're referring to the Panchaea project, the cooperative global initiative that has a healing our world.
Earth's ecosphere is in serious trouble, Eliza. And it's time that we as a species stepped up to make things better. Our best chance of doing this is to modify ocean temperature through a combination of iron sealing and geothermal management.
Many people believe that the Arctic Ocean installation is more risk than certainty. When will we be able to see the truth for ourselves?
As soon as the installation.
Over here! Come on now! I'm relieved to know they sent a professional, at least.
That makes two of us.
Right. Well, though not exactly what I was expecting. I was told I would be meeting a girl. How do I know you're not an imposter or some sort of double agent? Don't think I don't know this could all just be an elaborate trap to set me up.
Look, no offense, Mr. X, or whatever your name is, but I really don't have time for this. So if you could simply just give me what I came for, I'll be on my way.
Yes, yes. I have it right here. Evelyn Carmichael's autopsy report. Here, take it.
Thank you.
I trust you will put this information to good use, because accountability and justice is at an all-time low, I'm afraid. It pains me to see this once great city, which stood as a bastion for reform and progress against our oppressive communist origins, succumb to the trappings of corporate bureaucracy and petty corruption. Corruption so often typical of your Western governments.
Whatever you say. Now, if you don't mind, I really must be going.
Well, there is still the matter of my payment. 1,000 credits was the agreed-upon price, I believe. Isn't that right?
And what were you just saying about corruption?
A deal is a deal. Surely your handlers informed you of this little detail.
No, my handlers failed to mention this little detail. Never mind. Just take your money. This report better be worth it.
Oh, I assure you it is. Whoever it was that didn't want this information given to the proper authorities paid a lot of money to have it ignored. A pity for them, LIM policy strictly prohibits deletion of records concerning operational procedures. For legal purposes, you see.
Legal, right. Nice doing business with you, X. Malik, I just got the autopsy report. No drugs or alcohol in Evelyn's system. And her estimated time of death doesn't fit Lee's story. She did die from a head wound, but not one that matches the evidence found at the scene.
I knew it. It couldn't have been just an accident.
There's more. Evelyn was pregnant. Malik?
I'm here. We can't let him get away with this, Jensen. He's guilty. He has to be. Can you go to his apartment?
And do what?
Get proof. Get something. I'm sending you the coordinates. Contact me again when you're there.
Especially since that Dragon Queen Zhao took over TYM. I feel weird even talking about this because when it's all said and done, both Sarif and Zhao are cut from the same cloth. And that cloth is a blood-soaked one, people. Not only because they're both CEOs of profit
喂，谁呀？
Good job, Lao Wei. I see you found the first relay. Now hack it and turn off its security protocols.
Access granted.
One down, two to go, my friend.
Access granted.
Good. Second relay is down. Only one remaining.
Access granted.
Excellent work. I'm starting the triangulation now. Should have a location very soon. And I've got it. Jaya is hiding in an apartment building called the Hengsha Court Gardens in the Yuzhou district. I'm sending you her coordinates. Get over there and get us the money she owes.
Yeah, what do you want?
Who are you? Another one of Tong's thugs? Well, get out! I told him I won't pay another credit!
Look, I know this is not an ideal situation, and I'm not proud that I gotta do this. But Tong's crew wants the money you owe them.
Oh, you poor boy. Having trouble dealing with the dirty job you have to do? And I should feel sorry for you? Reality check, taxman. You're here to steal money from me.
Stealing? They got you the augmentation you needed, and they expect you to pay for it. Not the most charitable thing to do, but I would hardly call it stealing.
Are you really that gullible? Tong doesn't run a buy now, pay later operation. It's more like a buy now, pay forever. Listen, I just started as a broker. Most other brokers come from rich families. They paid for augments that give them an incredible edge in the business. There's no way I could afford anything like that through legal channels.
So you cut a deal with a crime syndicate?
I didn't study this hard to end up with nothing. Once I made enough money, I offered to pay for the aug. But no, what they want is part of my monthly profits. They say they're entitled to it since it's their upgraded enhancement chip that helped me make that money.
Couldn't you work without the augment? You wouldn't have gotten into so much trouble if you'd played by the rules.
Play by the rules? Let me tell you a little story about playing by the rules. I come from a poor family. My father, my mother, my 2 sisters, and 3 brothers, none of them ever amounted to much. When I tried to do better, when I made efforts in school, they said I was wasting my time. I got into business school, and again, they said I was wasting my time. That I could never compete with all those rich kids and their tutors and extra classes.
But you did.
I did. I finished top of my class, without the extra help and special attention, only through blood, sweat, and tears. And then what did my classmates do? They cheated. They once again bought their way to success. And what did my family say? That I had wasted my time. I was just supposed to accept defeat after all the efforts I've made? No. No way.
How did you meet Tong?
The same way most people end up meeting Tong. I was hurt, and one of his hounds smelled blood. They came to me and offered me help. I was intelligent enough to know it was a bad idea, but angry enough not to care.
How much are they asking from you?
A couple hundred credits every month. Doesn't look like much, but in the long run, let's just say they've made a very lucrative deal. Especially if you consider I'm not their only client.
Listen, maybe I can speak to one of Tong's men. Try and get you off the hook.
You would do that? I thought you were just another one of his mindless thugs. It's hard to properly express what this could mean for me.
Don't thank me yet. I can't guarantee they'll listen, but I'll try.
Back away, sir. This is none of your business.
Access granted. Access granted. Access granted. Access granted. Access granted.
Technological marvels with skyscrapers and universities and buildings that are basically architectural wonders. A city full of greenery, wealth, and glowing-eyed students and professionals walking.
Access granted. Access granted.
Malik, I'm inside Lee's apartment. Doesn't look like anyone's home.
Damn. Okay, look. Lee isn't smart enough to properly cover his tracks, so look around. Maybe you can find something suspicious.
Hey, Lee, baby. Can't wait to see you tonight. But I'm stuck at work. I know, I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you, baby. I promise. I'll meet you at the Hive, okay? Just don't get a party started without me. I want you all to myself tonight.
The Hive? I should have guessed Lee would be there. It's pretty much a second home for him.
Wait a minute, you heard that?
Sorry, Jensen. I don't like invading your privacy like this, but it's important. Plus, this gives me an idea. When you're done looking around Lee's apartment, head to the Hive. Contact me when you're there.
I'll keep looking. I'm sure there's more here. Malik, I think I got a probable murder weapon. A broken clock. The kicker is the hands line up roughly with Evelyn's TOD. Coincidence?
That's a hell of a stretch. You really think?
If Lee's as dumb as you say, maybe. We'd need lab tech analysis to confirm, but if there ever was a smoking gun, it fits. I'll stick around a bit. I'm sure there's still more to find.
Access granted.
Malik, looks like Hong Sr. was upset with Hong Jr.'s behavior and threatened to cut off his inheritance if he didn't stop whoring around. Sounds like he considered Evelyn beneath the family name.
And if he knew she was pregnant, I can't believe Lee would do something like that just for money.
Speaking of money, the Hong family seems heavily invested in both Bell Tower and Lim. That could explain the cover-up and lack of a proper investigation. I'll make one last sweep to make sure I got everything. Malik, I found a baseball bat, but it looks clean. Almost like it's been washed recently.
Maybe Lee washed Evelyn's blood off of it.
That's what I'm thinking. But I'm not sure it could inflict the type of laceration she had. Okay, I think that's it. I'm heading to the Hive now. I doubt we'll find anything else in here without calling in a forensics team.
Sounds good.
那些商人能帮你搞到几乎任何东西，尤其是那些不同。
Malik, I'm in the Hive. What's your plan?
Find Lee and talk to him. I want you to convince him you know exactly what he did to Evelyn and why. If you can make him panic, I'm willing to bet he'll spill his guts. Just make it look like blackmail. If he's willing to pay to keep you quiet, he's basically tying his own noose. I'll listen in and record everything.
Got it.
You got a favorite poison?
Hey, about that job?
You found Jaya yet? You need to get back the money she owes us.
This woman, Jaya. Tell me again what you want from her.
Only the money she owes. Payment for an upgraded social enhancement chip we got for her. Thanks to you, we now know she's hiding in an apartment building in the residential district, the Hengsha Court Gardens.
I know the place. Had to get into it once already.
Second time's always the charm.
What's it gonna take for you to leave Jaya alone for good?
I don't understand. Didn't you get the money?
I know about the Shylock scam you're running. Get her the augment she wants and then bleed her with monthly payments for the rest of her life. I want to know what it's gonna take for you to leave her alone for good.
A cyborg with a heart of gold, are we? Tell you what, Guaylo. You give me a year's worth of payments and she's free.
You're too kind a man. A fine specimen of humanity. Here's your money. Now you better leave her alone.
Don't make threats you can't enforce. But yes, she's off the hook. Here, take this practice kit. It's top-notch, so have fun.
What you want, Chrome Boy?
Is your name Li Hong?
Yeah, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. What's it to you?
I want to talk to you about Evelyn Carmichael.
Man, it's off! I already told all you narcos all there is to say.
Relax. I'm not with the police. I work private. And you could say I specialize in cases like yours.
If you ain't police, then what the fuck you want?
A simple proposition. I have proof that shows you murdered Evelyn. And I want you to pay me 2.5 million credits to make that proof disappear.
2.5? Bullshit. You ain't got shit on me, narco. I ain't paying you shit.
I strongly suggest you reconsider.
And I strongly suggest you get the fuck out of my face. Cause unless you got your proof right here, I ain't got shit to say to you.
Alright. Let's start with the police report. I know your story doesn't match up with the evidence at the scene of Evelyn's fall.
Oh yeah? And why's that?
Because the police report was full of inaccuracies, like someone deliberately tampered with evidence.
Yeah, and? That still don't prove shit.
Not only does the evidence not add up, but neither does your testimony. You lied about why Evelyn fell down the stairs in the first place. You said you'd both been drinking heavily prior to the accident, and the reason Evelyn fell was because she was drunk. We both know that isn't true.
Man, that shit was in the papers.
Now, if the evidence doesn't fit and your story was a lie, then how did Evelyn die on that night? Well, the answer is pretty simple, really. You killed her. But how? By hitting her in the head with that antique clock you keep so prominently displayed in your apartment. The lacerations on her head, the intracranial hemorrhaging, it's the perfect match.
In my apartment? How the fuck do you know what's in my apartment?
And like any good crime of passion, you needed motivation, something to fuel your violent outbursts. What did Evelyn say or do to make you murder her? She told you she was pregnant, and you panicked. Faced with the prospect of losing your easy way of life, you struck out at her in anger.
How? That's impossible.
But now the final piece of the puzzle. Why was Evelyn's death never considered a murder investigation? Because your family, one of the wealthiest and most influential families in Shanghai, covered it up. But whose silence did they buy? Lim. Your family's sizable investments in Lim assured the autopsy performed on Evelyn's body would never see the light of day, and her death would simply fall through the cracks of an already crumbling justice system.
Fuck this shit, man! And fuck you!
I can help you, Lee, but only for a price.
Alright, fuck! I can't believe this shit! I'll pay you, man! I'll pay you, just... What do you need from me?
Details. Let me hear your side of the story, and then we'll move on from there.
I don't know! Evelyn, that stupid bitch! She was going to ruin me. I didn't mean to kill her, okay? Evelyn wouldn't shut up about us, about the baby, so I hit her. I just wanted to make her shut her stupid mouth. But the dumb bitch started freaking out. So I hit her again until she finally stopped screaming. When I realized what I'd done, I panicked. She was barely breathing, so I carried her to the stairs near my apartment and dropped her. I had to make sure it looked like an accident. I had no choice. She trapped me. She just wanted my money. I would have been ruined.
I need to go. We'll be in contact again soon.
Huh? What about the evidence? And the money? Where the fuck you going?
Goodbye, Lee. Malik, please tell me you got a recording of all that.
Oh my god, Jensen, I could kiss you right now. I can't believe you got him to confess so openly like that.
To be honest, it was easier than I was expecting. You were definitely right about Lee. He's not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed.
Well, don't get too cocky just yet. Before I send our little friend's confession off to the local media and authorities, I want to get some Shanghai Street Justice first. There's a control panel linked to the hive I need you to hack. Uploading the coordinates now.
Access granted.
All right, Malik. It's hacked.
Verifying the signal. Come on. Okay, I'm in. Remote frequencies are clear, thank God. Uploading now. And done. Meet me in front of the hive, Jensen. I have a little surprise for our friend Lee. Jensen.
Malik?
Well, first take this. I was gonna use it myself, but after everything you've done, I think you deserve it more.
So what are you gonna do now?
I have a few loose ends to tie up, and I need to make sure this autopsy report finds its way into the right hands. The Hongs aren't gonna buy their way out of this one.
Lee's confession is solid. With that and the evidence from the autopsy, there's no way he can avoid prosecution. Justice will be served.
Oh, justice will be served, all right. You might want to stick around for a second. I've got one last little surprise for our friend Lee. Are you facing the hive? It's almost showtime. In 3, 2...
Malik.
Just watch.
I don't know. Evelyn, that stupid bitch! She was going to ruin me. I didn't mean to kill her, okay?
Malik, remind me never to piss you off.
After everything you've done here for Evelyn, for me, you'd have to try pretty hard, mister.